Hello viewers and welcome to this edition of Asian Vibes. We welcome you to capture the essence and feel the pulse of all that is Asia in Thunder Bay. Today my guest is Dr. Apichart Linhananta and Mrs. Lixin Linhananta. Thank you so much for coming and it's a pleasure to meet both of you.
Thank you.
So, Swadika and Ni Hao. And Ni Hao. I hope that's the way you greet here. So how did these two beautiful cultures meet? You're from Thailand and
right.
Lixin is from China.
Actually, we met because I've been in Canada for quite a while, and we met in Brampton through some friends, and then it just started from there. And it's at that time it was a bit unstable because I didn't have a permanent job. But eventually, I found employments here, and that's the main reason why I came to Thunder Bay.
With profession,
that's right.
With regards to joining Lakehead University?
That's right, that's right.
So, please share with us what exactly do you do at Lakehead University?
So, before I came here, I was actually a postdoc doing research in physics, but in particular in biological physics. Basically, I used the laws of physics to study how biology works. And after a couple of years of postdoc, I was a bit antsy because basically it's not a permanent job. So I started applying for a few jobs, and I was interviewed at a few places, some in the U.S., some for a job in Australia by video link, and another job in Canada. So at that I was already a Canadian, so I wanted to stay in Canada. So that's why I chose Lakehead University, and I knew a bit of Thunder Bay.
How little did you know? How much did you know about Thunder Bay?
Well, I know it's a remote region, but I also know that it has a great outdoor. And when I was a student at a University of Guelph, we had a speaker from Lakehead University.
Oh, really?
So I knew a bit about Lakehead University and Thunder Bay, but I have to admit it's not that much. But I know it was a great place for outdoor sports, and so I thought it would be a good place to live and raise a family.
And you chose Canada over all those other countries that you were deciding to settle down.
Well, because I have a mixed root. I was born in Thailand, but my father was actually born in China, and he immigrated from China with his father to open a business in southern Thailand, and that's where my grandfather met my grandmother, who's half Chinese, half Thai.
Nice.
And so we have a mixed root. Some of my father's relative immigrated to Canada, and so I have roots in Canada for many years. And that's why we immigrated to Canada, to Montreal when I was very young. And so most of my education was in Canada. I went to McGill for my bachelor.
McGill
University
for your bachelor's in physics?
Right. That's right.
Okay.
And then I got interested in a particular field called statistical physics. And so I went to Guelph, where they had a good department for that to do my graduate studies. And then that's how I got into the field, and after I graduated, I found a postdoc, a couple of postdocs, one in Australia and one back in North America, and eventually this job. So I was I'm always happy that I made the choice that I did.
Absolutely.
And I think Thunder Bay is a great place to live.
So how long has this been? You've been in Thunder Bay for how long now?
I think 2003.
Since 2003 you're in Thunder Bay.
So it's quite a while.
It's good, yeah.
And so it took some adjustment because I live in cities before. I live in cities in Bangkok, I live in Montreal, I did postdoc in Australia and the US. So basically, and they've always been larger cities, and so it's the adjustment to a smaller city was
urban and to almost to a little town. Yes.
That's right. That's right. So
Okay.
it's but it has really nice outdoors. So we like skiing, we like hiking.
Oh, you do? Oh, really?
Yes. So yeah. I mean, my wife Lixin and I and our kids, we always like cross country skiing and hiking.
So it's Lixin, if I have got the pronunciation of your name right, Lixin. So Lixin, what do you like about Thunder Bay? What does appeal to you?
It's nature.
Nature, yeah.
Yeah, and
it's natural
if
beauty.
you're, it's you can reach all the places, shopping and outdoor activities is all very close by. It's very easy access to.
Between the two of you, how many languages do you speak?
I speak English and Mandarin.
Mandarin, yes.
Yeah.
And Thai as well. Yeah, you
I speak Thai.
Yeah.
I speak Thai, but I speak a variety of. Some language I don't speak too well. I speak some French, but not that great.
Oh, you were in Montreal.
That's right. I mean, I have roots in Montreal, but as you know, you can survive in either languages in Montreal. So yeah, but I have a working knowledge. I can communicate in French.
But how much of the Chinese and Mandarin and Thai do you practice at home? Your children, for example, how do they picked up the languages?
My son, my daughter, both they're born here in Canada.
They're born in Canada.
Yeah, and they prefer speaking English to me, but they can speak a little bit Mandarin.
What happens to me is I think sometimes in my language, but when it has to be communicated to a person who doesn't understand my language, I have to translate that into English and then speak out. Does that happen to you? Do you still think? And there are a lot of
yes, I did that for so many years when I first came to Canada. Right now it's just getting better, but it's sometimes, occasionally, I still have to go that process. It's complicated, yes.
Yeah, I understand that. So we'll hold on to that beautiful thought, and thank you so much for sharing your journey, your professional journey so far.
Thank you.
We'll take a very short break. Dear viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back.